From the piers to the broad Atlantic, in the seas and along foreign coastlines, U.S. Fleet Forces Command impacts the world from its base in Norfolk, Virginia.
Our overall goal is to provide ready and prepared sailors, ships, aircraft, submarines, and expeditionary forces anytime, anywhere around the globe.
U.S. Fleet Forces operates the Atlantic Fleet, mans ships and fighting units, and trains the men and women who serve the United States around the world. The command equips the Navy with the most advanced technology, defends the U.S. from unconventional threats, and responds when America is in need.
We have not only national threats, we have transnational threats, and they're different from the Persian Gulf, from South America, from Europe, and from the Western Pacific.
The goal? Protect the United States and deter those who would destabilize our world. If they will not be deterred, U.S. Fleet Forces is ready to fight. This is who we are and how we serve. What we know today as U.S. Fleet Forces Command has its roots in the presidency of Theodore Roosevelt and his commitment to building a Navy that is ready to fight and win wars. President Roosevelt established the Navy's Atlantic Fleet under one command in 1906. The fleet's first commander was Rear Admiral Robley D. Evans, who led battleships out of Hampton Roads to begin the famed cruise of the Great White Fleet. The commands that followed took many forms. Ultimately, Fleet Forces Command and the Atlantic Fleet were joined under the banner of Fleet Forces in 2006. The modern U.S. Fleet Forces mans, equips, and trains our fleet. We deliver a fighting workforce, active duty service members, Navy civilians, and contractors. Our forces include carrier and expeditionary strike groups and ships, submarines, and warplanes that operate below, in, and from the world's waters. U.S. Fleet Forces teaches its people using cutting-edge synthetic or simulated training. But in most cases, there's no replacement for the real thing. Through complex live exercises, units learn to operate together. We marry resources, weapons, machines, and tactics. But the heart of it all is a talented, diverse workforce of sailors, Marines, and civilians.
We're very fortunate in this country in that we have a generation of youth who are willing to serve their nation and give to something bigger than themselves.
The people we train are ready to serve the commanders in the theaters of war. We deliver ready Navy forces where needed. They are the places where the United States Navy is engaged. They are the waters where sea power deters future wars. Whether those waters are blue, green, or brown makes little difference. U.S. Fleet Forces brings the fight from the deep sea to the relative shallows of a river. U.S. Fleet Forces supports joint commanders and works with Navy component commanders to determine the force of the future. The command determines what tomorrow's Navy needs and advises the Chief of Naval Operations on how to achieve those goals. U.S. Fleet Forces operates, maintains, and defends the Navy's information networks, high-tech battlegrounds in their own right. That includes information systems in space and cyberspace. Those communication tools ensure that commanders achieve decision superiority, acting before an adversary does. U.S. Fleet Forces keeps an eye on the globe and combats those who would use weapons of mass destruction. Its people are ready to serve anywhere, at any time, even at home. When disaster struck the Gulf Coast in 2005, U.S. Fleet Forces responded. The Navy delivered humanitarian and medical aid to Louisiana and to Mississippi. U.S. Fleet Forces is a committed steward of the world's natural resources. The Navy spends millions of dollars each year on environmental research. We work with regulatory agencies and leading scientists so we can safely share our oceans with marine life of all kinds, while preserving our ability to conduct realistic training. U.S. Fleet Forces works with our partners in the Marine Corps and the Coast Guard to execute the maritime strategy of the United States. The U.S. maritime strategy is to keep the sea lanes safe and make sure we have critical access by sea when it is needed. It is vital for our domestic security and for international trade, 90% of which is delivered by sea. Helped by partners in uniform and allies abroad, the Navy's sea power is a force that unifies and protects. The Navy is ready to win any future war,
but it's just as important to prevent a future war.
U.S. Fleet Forces delivers that capability, anytime, anywhere. Our hands are on the lines that span the globe and protect the seas.
Ready Fleet, global reach.